Hey y'all, I'm Granny. I enjoy playing video games, but I also love a good story, or a conversation, or even going down some rabbit holes. And so, what I've decided to do is combine the two. So, I play a video game that closely resembles the topic for the day, and I play the game while I talk about the topic, whether it's a story, or whether it's a rabbit hole, or just a conversation starter. So, if you enjoy that, then you're in the right place. Alright, let's get into this. Have you ever wondered what could be lurking in the areas of the ocean that we either haven't explored yet or simply can't explore because we don't have the technology to get there? Well, that's what we're going to explore today. Make sure if you're new to the channel, you hit that subscribe button. You watch this video all the way to the end, smash that like button, and click on the notification bell for future uploads. Alright, let's get into this. So everywhere you turn, it seems like the megalodons are a huge topic, from videos that are obvious CGI or AI to some that leave questions like, was that real or even possible? How could something so large go undiscovered for so long? Well, the game that I chose to go along with today is Stranded Deep. I mean, come on. There's a megalodon, there's a giant squid, there's even a giant eel. And it takes place in the ocean. So I thought it went with today's story pretty well. Alright, so one of the reasons that people think that the megalodon could still be out there is the fact that we've only explored between 3 to 5% of the ocean. That's kind of compared to searching a mud puddle in comparison to your local lake. Okay, so it's not a whole lot. I mean, that's a drop in the bucket. Now, megalodons were thought to go extinct about 3.6 million years ago. But the reality is, it's possible that in some of our deepest, darkest parts of the ocean where we cannot get to, that maybe something large like a megalodon could exist. If you take the case of the 9-foot great white that suddenly disappeared, it had been tagged by some Australian researchers. He said that the data from the tag that had washed up later on the beach indicated that the shark was swimming along like normal, then it suddenly took a turn, started going way down deep at a really fast speed, and then all of a sudden the temperature changed from the normal cold water temperature to, I think it was 76 degrees. And the only thing that would indicate to them was that the shark was actually eaten by something larger than it, just swallowed up whole. Okay, well, a 9-foot shark, that's pretty big. I mean, if you take a 6-foot person, it would take 1.5 of those persons just to make the length of a 9-foot shark. So something had to be nearly double the size to be able to swallow it up. Now, they said that it was possible it could have been a whale, but there were some researchers that said that it couldn't be a whale because whales weren't cold, so their belly temperatures are basically the same as the water. I'm not sure. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a researcher. And like I've said in other videos, this is just for entertainment purposes only. It's my opinion. I'm not a professional. I'm just having a conversation about a topic. So, take it for what it is. Now, feel free to leave in the comments if you know of something that I've stated that maybe is incorrect. I'm always willing to learn. If you have other videos that maybe you want to share a link with, feel free to do that as well. I'm open to everything. I just want to get a conversation started, and I will be responding to the comments. Okay, now let's start back at talking about the fact that we've only explored 3 to 5% of the ocean. For me personally, I don't understand how we've explored so little. I mean, this is a country that wants you to believe that we went to the moon back in the 60s. Okay, if We went to the moon back in the 60s. We're in 2025 now. You're telling me that in all those years, we have not developed the technology to go deeper into the ocean. But we were able to jump in a little rocket, fly ourselves up to the moon, get up there, put a little flagpole, walk around, and then come back safely. It just doesn't make sense. You can do all of that, but in 60 years you haven't developed a way to go deeper into the ocean. I don't know how space works, but I know they say that with the ocean that there's pressure and this, that, and the other, right? Well, I mean, is there not pressure in space? I mean, I honestly don't know how that works. I don't know how space is, but it just seems to me that you would have the same effect in space. It kind of, you'd have to worry about not only the pressure, but the heat from the sun as you got closer, or maybe even just the sheer coldness of space if you got, like, on the dark side of the moon, say. I don't know. But it just, I mean, in 1960, we didn't have a such thing as a cell phone. Okay? We now have cell phones that, I don't know, they're like little movie studios because you can take panoramic video, you can, make movie quality videos on them. You can do all that kind of stuff. We've got like micro engineering and all this stuff for these little tiny chips and all that, but you can't come up with a way to make a vessel that is strong enough and capable enough to go into the ocean and down to the depths with camera devices, even if they're not man operated. I mean, how can you not at least get a rover of some sort, just a camera that's able to go down there? I just don't understand how we're that far behind in technology that you can't explore the ocean more. Even, like I said, I mean, it'd be great if it was, people could actually get into these things. They've got these underwater substations that they're able to go down under the water and into pipelines and whatnot that are underwater. So why can we not come up with a device or a machine that we can actually either get in or attach a camera to get some more footage, maybe find some more creatures there? Now they say that we've only discovered about 10% of the creatures that are in the ocean. We've only discovered 10%. Oh my gosh, that leaves 90%. And we've discovered how many in the ocean? I mean, I don't know. It's mind-boggling. And here's another question. How do they know that we've only discovered 10%? I mean, there are tons and tons of scientists that are all adamant about we've only discovered 10%. Well, until you discover it, you don't know what there is to discover. So I don't know if maybe, I don't know, does our government know more and they're just not telling us? I know that NASA built a probe that was supposed to go down to the deepest parts of the ocean. But it wasn't as successful and they gave up on it. And when questioned about why we don't go back to the moon, they say that they've lost the technology. How do you lose the technology in a society where we have advanced and had major advancements in technology, but you can't build what looks like tinfoil wrapped around an aluminum can? I don't know, I don't get it. But anyway, there are places in the ocean that are kind of deep, kind of like the Mariana Trench. They say that the Mariana Trench is so deep that you could put Mount Everest in it and there would still be over a kilometer above the top of Mount Everest before you got to the surface of the water. Now, Mount Everest is about 29,032 feet in height. So that's about 8,849 meters. And I know that there was a submersible that was made that was able to reach 10,898 meters. I don't believe that it was in the Mariana Trench where they used it, but if they can get that far down, that's further down than Mount Everest in the ocean. Why can't they get further? Now, I get that they say that in the Mariana Trench, the pressure is so bad that to get too far down would actually crush everything. And they claim that a larger shark couldn't live down there because the pressure would crush the shark itself. However, when they've gone far down, they made it to about midway, I guess. There's a little plateau there right before it drops off with a big steep drop off. And they said that they have found different creatures that they hadn't seen before, like the Mariana snailfish. It has flexible bones, so it's able to withstand the pressures that are there in the Mariana Trench. It's translucent, so you can see through it. And, basically it's adapted, along with other sea creatures that they found there. They've all seemed to adapt to the thing. So who says that the megalodon couldn't have evolved? I mean, if they last were thought to have went extinct 3.6 million years ago, and if they still existed today, that means they lasted 3.6 million years. You don't think that they would have evolved in 3.6 million years? And they expect you to believe that man evolved over, I don't know, a million years, and that a shark couldn't in 3.6 million? I mean, come on. If one thing can evolve, so could another. So there's absolutely no reason why there couldn't possibly be an evolution that has taken place, and the shark has actually been able to maybe change the way it is so that it's able to withstand the pressure. Or, it could be something crazy, like if you ever watched the Megalodon movies, I don't know if it's just called Meg or Megalodon, but I think it's Meg. But if you've ever watched those movies, they go down in their little submersibles that they've got, and it's like there's this layer that's like cold or whatever, and the water below that is actually warm, and the megalodon is living down there. And the only reason that it comes out and starts attacking people is because they breach that cold thing, opening up like a little gateway, and the shark follows them back out of it when they go back out. So I'm not saying that that's how it is. I'm just saying, how do we know if we can't reach down there right now that it's not something like that? Maybe the pressure eases up somehow. I mean, I don't know. If we've never got down there, we don't understand anything about it. So anything could be. It could be something as simple as that. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Do you think megalodons could possibly exist? And if not a megalodon, what other prehistoric creatures could be down there? I mean, if we can't get down there to explore it, the possibilities are endless. I mean, there could be all kinds of things. Now, I just seen a video the other day that was talking about they just discovered a new type of shark. No, it's not a megalodon. It's actually a guitar shark, which I had never even heard of a guitar shark. But apparently they had discovered some before, but this is a new kind of a guitar shark. I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of insane to think that there are things out there that we don't know. I mean, I get that they've explored things like the Loch Ness Monster to see if that exists, and People think it's a plesiosaur. And do I think that there's really a Loch Ness monster? No, probably not, because in the grand scheme of things, when you're talking about Loch Ness, that's a whole lot less space than the ocean. And they've even got cameras up, and most of the footage of the things that I've seen that they think are Nessie are like a wave or a log or a fake object. I mean, one of the most well-known Loch Ness monster stories, the guy actually admitted that it was a hoax and he did it as a joke, and it's actually just, a toy floating or whatever. I don't know. I know that I absolutely am fascinated when it comes to the ocean and new life forms and sharks and all that. And I think a lot of it has to do with, I would never find myself in a submersible going underwater. I just wouldn't. I have a fear of drowning. And after the morons, and again, it's just my opinion, but the morons at Ocean Gate who came up with the whole carbon fiber tube that was ran by a PlayStation controller and called their ship the Titan and went to go under the sea to see a Titanic. I mean, come on. I'm sorry. First of all, I'm not going to pay $250,000 to ride in a submarine. Second of all, I'm definitely not going to pay $250,000 to ride in a tube that looks like it's going to collapse at 10 feet of water, and then to be told that they're running it with a PlayStation controller like it's some kind of video game. No thanks. I love to play video games. I play on my PlayStation all the time. I use my PlayStation controller, but you would not catch me in a real life situation where I'm putting my life on the line with some nerd running it with a PlayStation controller. And let's face it, the guy that was all gung-ho about it, I guess he was the owner, he died on the ship with him. Not ship, but submersible. But he was like he had a death wish or something. I don't know. It was just like he refused to accept responsibility, refused to say that there were things that were wrong with the thing. I don't know. It's just crazy. Anyway, getting back on topic. I just don't get how in the world that we can come up with all kinds of things. We can come up with all kinds of military things, planes that fly that are able to avoid radar. You've got submarines that are almost like a little city underwater almost, with their cafeterias and their bunks and their, I don't know. How in the world can we do all of that, but we can't dive deeper into the ocean? We have a space station. They have, substations underwater, like I said, where they are dealing with the pipelines and things like that. Now they're claiming there's aliens in the ocean. I mean, it's just crazy stuff, okay? Like I've said already, I'm not sure what exactly is down there, whether it's aliens, megalodons, giant cities, or maybe the lost city of Atlantis is down there somewhere and they're still alive and well. They've just become mermaids and mermen. I don't know. The whole point of this is to have a conversation about what we possibly might think is down in the ocean. I mean, what do you think? Tell me in the comments. Do you think there's megalodons or mermaids or other crazy sea creatures? Do you think that there's nothing? I mean, just the normal, everyday shark, everyday normal fish. What? I don't know. You tell me. But anyway, if you made it this far, I want to thank you for watching. And if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe. Leave us a comment. Hit that like button and click on the notification bell so that you're notified to any future uploads. If you have a suggestion for a future story or a topic or whatever, leave that in the comments as well. We're always trying to improve on the things that we have on the channel, so even if you have a suggestion, leave that down in the comments. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Keep gaming, people.